Okay, welcome. I'm starting about a minute early here. Just seeing if anybody comes in, and we're get rolling. See how long we can make it last tonight. We got Clover coming up next, so if we last an hour, good. If we don't, that's okay too. All right, 7:00. Here we go. Coming to you from behind enemy lines. Rick's Life as I See It. Shooting with Disabilities. There's a talk show, hopefully, to deal with people who have disabilities in the shooting sports, how they handle it, how they overcome and do it. As I said, last week was the first one. This week is the second one. Whether it's going to be much better than the first, I don't know. I'm still grappling with the what's the word I'm looking for? The layout, the setup for this actual show. I sort of jumped in and started it without getting it all there. Hey, Wheelchair Warrior, good man. Are you on gun channels? I need you in here.
You've got mail.
Hey, Grim. So there we go. That's what I was going to. Yeah, I was hoping to. Hey, Jasmine. What's called it? If anybody see if I can get this thing to work. I'm all messed up here. Don't know why. Here we go. Taking a risk here. If anybody wants to join the panel, the link is in the gun channels chat. So please join me if you want to. Okay, where I was going with this is I'm trying to hunt down people I can talk to who have disabilities. So I have them on the show, maybe ask a few questions, how they get with it and stuff like that. That's one of the things I was going to do. Also, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try. Let me start this. I'm trying to. Which one is it? Oh, yeah. I got this. Oops. Hang on. I forgot. You got to make this one full size, make it work. There we go. I've got this website here that I came across where they have holsters and a pouch for wheelchairs. Anybody, that's Scott's Works LLC. I called them up and I called them up. I emailed them, I should say. And let's see if we can get rid of that. There we go. Back to me. If they did anything for the scooters that I use, and he didn't have anything. What he suggested was get the I don't know if I got the website for that on here or not either. I don't think I do. No, I don't. It's a Sherpa. The Sherpa puck. It's the thing they use for their thing. Like on my scooter, you have a flat surface. You could somehow screw that onto there, then clip your holster onto that if you needed to. Oh, Wheelchair Warrior says he's seen it, but it wouldn't work for an electric wheelchair. Okay. All right. See, this is the kind of things I need to know. Problem is, a wheelchair would like a link, but I don't know how to give him one on YouTube. I'm not that clever.
Howdy, Rick.
Hey, Too Hottie, how's it going?
Good. How are you, sir?
All right. So,
I'm pretty sure you can drop a link on YouTube if you're either a
because
mod
I'm
or
the
if you
main
run it.
man.
If you're a mod or if you're the main guy.
Let's see if it works. Well, it didn't. Well, I don't know. That's the link to get you in here. If anybody wants to join me on the panel, give it a try. So, hey, John Brown, RL, Midnight Range. Glad you're all joining me here. As I said, that's what I'm working on. Is that I'm trying to. Also, somebody mentioned that guy to me last week, Connor Cahill, whatever his name is, Nubs. He's known as. I'm trying to find an email for him if I can maybe invite him onto the show. Talk, interview him. But his latest, the only website, not website, the only YouTube channel I can find for him is over a year old. So, I don't know if anybody's got an up to date thing on him, which would help. So, also, what else I've got? Let's have a look here on my sharing thing. Let me go full blast here. Share that window. Which one is it? This one here. Okay. All right. I mean, this I don't know if can you all see that one?
I see it, Rick.
Okay. Right here, like this site is Pew Pew Tactical. I think he's actually an instructor. Let me get to the top here. 6 helpful tips for disabled shooters. How to ask the right ask the right questions to find the gun, shooting from a wheelchair, shooting with chronic pain. I mean, and he lists a bunch of stuff down here, which which I like. I don't know if it'd be interesting for anybody, but I'm not sure if this is the one I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean this one, shooting with chronic pain, that's me. It's just I just don't overdo it, basically. Do what I can. But now this here, I think everybody's got one of these, whether they're disabled or not. That is one of the best damn things that ever came on the market. With my arthritic hands for loading my magazines, that is great. That that mag loader. I think everybody should have one. Now this I think is kind of neat. I don't know if they make one for every type of gun, or is it just for Glock? I'm not sure, but I might need to get one of those on my M&P because she's got a hell of a tough spring in it. Well, it feels that way to me. Yeah, I love mine too, wheelchair. Then what's this?
Yeah, and that is a problem for people with arthritis or any sort of things like that where they just
Oh
don't
yeah,
have the grip strength to actually run that slide.
yeah. I mean, they're going on about Trichicon stuff here. I don't know how old this is, but at $500, Jesus Christ. I would love to have that too but I don't need it right yet. So, but this I thought was fascinating for people who have, who can't use the trigger finger that well. This is like a prosthetic where you put it on there. From what I can understand, you use your wrist and your arm to pull the trigger, and it doesn't throw the aim off any, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I wonder how that. I'd be interested to see how that works because if it's operated by your wrist, I, how does it not throw your aim off? But
I don't know, maybe because this thing's down. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm just saying that's. I mean, maybe we have to go on the actual website and see if we can find it. Choosing the right holster, fanny pack. It's suggesting here, not just a regular one, but one that's made to carry a gun. I think that's what wheelchair uses, isn't it? I think I was mentioning once. You know. Now this is what I would love to have. Right, the shoulder holster. This is just. I looked up these up, and it's just one side. It's not one that you sling over both shoulders. You know, hold on. It just held on one side. So I'm, you know, am I looking to get one of those myself? Because right now I carry in the on my right hip, and when I'm on my scooter, I'm in there. I get the arm of the scooter up because I can move them. But I move the arm of the scooter up, so I can get access to my holster right now. You know, so that's what I thought was. And this, if anybody wants to fire a rifle, I thought this was pretty neat too, right here. You know, on a stand on a tripod. I thought was pretty cool.
yep.
You know,
Because when you're out shooting a rifle, I mean, anybody with chronic pain, anybody with any other sort of physical disability, I mean, that's one of the hardest things is to steady your weapon. So I mean, any little aids like that. I mean, whether it's that, whether it's shooting sticks, bipods, anything like that are just great tools.
yeah, yeah. So,
But it's all kind of situationally dependent though on the person and what their difficulties are. But there's definitely ways to get people with whatever their disability is out shooting, and it'd
oh,
be great to
absolutely.
see more people out there doing it.
Oh, absolutely. And as I mentioned last week, that the NRA they got that. Oh hell, I had the website last week where you can put in for a waiver to go into shooting competitions, and you know you can like they say you got to shoot from the prone position. There's a way you can hold your rifle like with one of those stands or something like that on your wheelchair, and that counts as the same thing. I thought was pretty cool. But you got to get this waiver to go to an NRA sanctioned shooting event,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was pretty cool. You
And
know?
that waiver would probably just be something that would need to be signed by a doctor stating that you are physically disabled.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't remember if I
Like,
got the. I still got the link here. Let me
I
have a
mean,
look.
in fact, when I think about a lot of different things, whether they're extreme sports out there or you know skiing or anything like that, if people with disabilities would like to give stuff like that a try, and it definitely includes shooting. All you got to do is give these places a call, and a lot of them have programs for people with disabilities to get them out on the ski slopes, to get them out on the gun range, and there's there's people out there doing this, and it's great work.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And what I'm looking for now is what I was trying to get for this week, but I haven't come across any yet. But I'm sure they're out there. I just got to look further afield, do more of it. Is instructors who have, because some instructors haven't instructed anybody with disabilities. There's got to be some other who have, you know, and know how to go about doing it. Because I mean, like the instructor I used, I wasn't. I mean, luckily, I was allowed. I was when I took my test for Rhode Island, you got to shoot at 25 yards. You know, I actually inside the booth. You know, you had the walls each side. I was actually standing. I wasn't in a wheelchair then. You know, but I had trouble. But I had to use a cane to walk. Is I actually leant up against the side and shot the target. You know, and aimed under the rules. That's allowed. You know, so I was lucky there. Oh, thanks, RL. So hopefully Wheelchair Warrior will be in here in a second. So he can help us out with some of this because I've seen some of the stuff he's got. It's pretty neat. So anyway, that's where I've been at so far. And if anybody's got any other ideas, you know, I am, as I said, this is a brand new show, so I don't know what I just started it without actually having a format, you know, that I wanted to get going. Oh, I don't know. Hey, Wheelchair. What I
Hey,
just
guys.
started it without actually having a format. You know, who's doing an echo here? Oh, hey, Wheelchair. I just started it without actually having a format. You know, you got your volume on your YouTube still, Wheelchair?
There we go. How's that?
I started it without actually having a format. You know, you got your volume on your YouTube still, Wheelchair?
There we go. How's that?
I started it without actually having a format. I'm getting a loop here. You got your volume on your YouTube still, Wheelchair?
There we go. How's that?
I'm getting a loop here. You got your volume on your YouTube still, Wheelchair?
There we go. How's that?
I'm getting a loop here.
Hey, Wheelchair, you gotta exit out of the chat on the YouTube side. Pause that so that it's not playing while you're in the Hangout.
Okay, I didn't know how that worked.
Yeah, that loop was weird. I've never heard something like that before, but
No, I haven't either.
That's just normally what the echo is.
Okay. So hopefully he'll do that and be back in here. So, all right. There you go. You back with us, Wheelchair?
Yeah, I think we got it now.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's good. Good. Now, that's your avatar. Do you actually have one of those wheelchairs with those tracks on it?
No, but I'd love to have one. I used one once for going hunting, and it was fantastic. It went up and down really steep hills like it was nothing. You can adjust the actual seat to where whatever degree the hill is, you can change the seat to where you're still sitting straight up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I wonder how much one of those are. You know,
they start right in the ballpark of around 18,000.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's an impressive piece of equipment.
Yeah.
I had to get one through the Independence Fund, but because I wasn't post 9/11, they don't do anything for those folks.
Yeah.
Something with Wounded Warrior Foundation. If you're post 9/11, they don't do anything for you.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I said I saw a website with them on there, but I didn't see any price. It didn't show any prices. That's why I was wondering. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's out of my range, so I just have to use my little scooter. You know?
Yeah, I've got a four-wheel drive chair that I bought secondhand off of a guy, and it does pretty decent, but it's nothing like that.
No. Yeah. Now, I mean, like we got snow here. I think we got maybe what 3-4 inches outside right now. My little scooter goes through it. you know. But I mean, it does slip and slide occasionally. Luckily, as I said, I can still get up. So I did get stuck once, so I had to get up and sort of because with my weight on it, it wouldn't move. So when I got off of it and moved it off the ice, and I got back in it, and I was good to go. You know, luckily I can still do that. You know, so
Hey there, wheelchair warrior. Can I ask you a question? When you had the chance to use that piece of equipment, was that through somebody who was setting up hunts for people with disabilities, or how did that sort of thing work?
There was a group up in Franklin, North Carolina, that was setting it up through a church, and I'm not sure who they had contacted, but they had about half a dozen of them brought up there from the coast. And I know one of the forest rangers there in the area was the lead guy for setting up the hunt. But now that I'm down around the Charlotte area, I haven't found anybody that does that yet.
okay. So you got your new truck now, right?
Yes, and
now what you can drive? I mean, you can go now with your wheelchair, correct?
yes, I just open the door, lower the lift, back onto the lift, make sure that the easy lock clips in, and lift it back up, back into the truck, and hand controls are in place. It's
Okay. So
awesome.
when it comes to shooting, I mean, try not to sound bad, but are your hands okay, or do you have trouble holding on to a gun or anything?
Well, with the Parkinson's, I have a hard time with the holding the gun steady,
Yeah.
and but I've, like anything, you learn to adapt, and I can I can hit a 8-inch gong from 25 feet pretty
Ain't
regular,
bad. Ain't bad. You
and
know.
I've done it from 25 yards, but it's more like 1 in every 10 shots.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. But I mean, also, if you're doing it like me, I mean, I carry for self defense. So I mean, they're not going to be at 25 yards.
Exactly.
You know. So I mean, that's why I said I was looking for something. I don't know if I want to put something on the actual card itself because I said I can lift the arm up and still get to my waist. I don't. I just feel more secure with the gun on me.
Well, Jelsma and I have been talking about trying to design something that would go on the armrest that would be towards the inside of the chair, where it would be as if you were carrying it around 3 o'clock.
Okay. All right. So I mean,
Sorry to interrupt. How would something like that work in states where there is no open carry? So you got to really be careful about your concealability.
Exactly. And I'm not sure about the scooter that Rick uses, but like with my wheelchair, I could open carry and nobody would even notice because
yeah.
it's just hidden by the armrest and the backrest and so on.
I got you.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of times, even because I only got this scooter this winter, but like even walking with my cane and stuff during the summer, all I do is, I mean, I just wear a baggy T-shirt and I wear an outside the waistband holster, and my shirt covers it. So I'm imagining I can still do it with the scooter. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah,
because inside the waistband, for being not only being disabled but being a big guy as well, I find are the most uncomfortable things out there. The only thing I found that works for me is called can't think of the name of it now, but it's like a holster and it's got an elastic. It's like a belly band almost, but it's got an actual holster where you can put in you can hold a magazine, a flashlight in it and stuff, and that stretches around. That's inside. I can wear that, and that's comfortable. But that's about the only thing I've found so far.
Sometimes I carry two guns. I'll have my 9mm in the fanny pack, which I basically use as a lap bag and just wrap it around my legs, and it also holds my legs in place.
Yeah, I saw that one time when you were demonstrating getting into your truck, the old truck you had.
Yeah, the second one that I carry, I have a black arch inside the waistband that I carry at about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and I'm a big guy. I've got that tactical gut and so on, and carrying it at 4 o'clock, I've not had any issues at all. And of course, I can carry any size pistol at 4 o'clock because the backrest covers everything.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Man, double carrying. You're waiting for the trouble out there.
Well, when you're in a chair, you're automatically perceived as a target for anybody that wants to do something bad.
Oh, absolutely. I even feel that way in my little scooter. Same thing. I mean, I went to Walmart today. That's what I'm saying. I was out in the snow in my yard. Walmart was, of course, was clear, but I pulled into the parking lot there, and I go. I don't use when I'm carrying the scooter because I got it on a carrier on the back of my truck. So it takes up 2 parking spaces basically. So I don't use the handicap parking area at Walmart when I'm using my scooter. So I go way out of the way. But I went over there today and I stopped, and as you said, I sit there and I look around and there was a pickup truck sitting over in the corner with 2 guys in it, just sitting there. And I'm thinking I ain't getting out until they go. And I sat there for 15 minutes before they drove off. Maybe they were, just went shopping and that's where they happened to park. I don't know. But I wasn't going to take the chance. So.
I mean, it is just a sad fact of reality that people with disabilities, they are targets for, I mean, let's just face it. People out there who are mean to do harm, who are wanting to rob somebody, they're wanting the easiest person possible. And if they can physically see somebody with a disability, a physical disability, in a wheelchair, in a walker, using a cane, I mean, think about it. I mean, with anybody who has been around the block knows that they're probably the first person who's going to have their purse snatched or be victimized in whatever way. So what we're talking about here, I find to be very, very important when it comes to, empowering people with disabilities to be able to protect themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 100% in there. I mean, also, like, besides not only coming up to what's the word I'm looking for, accosting us, they had the ability, especially if they ran up behind us and we're not careful, they could actually push me off my cart, or they could push, wheelchair over there, and if we got, at least if we hit the ground and we haven't smacked our head against the concrete or something, at least we got a chance to grab the gun and, take care of business.
Very true. I've heard Clint Smith I've watched quite a few of Clint Smith from Thunder Ranch's videos, and he's a very well-known trainer. And he has a lady who comes to a class, I think, religiously once a year. And she's in a wheelchair. I'm not sure what her actual disability is, but she's in a wheelchair. And when it comes time for their range exercises, guess what he does? He flips that wheelchair over and makes her shoot from the ground.
Yeah.
And people who are brand new to the class kind of look at Clint, and he's told this story. You can find it on his YouTube page. People kind of look at Clint like, "Holy crap, you just did that to her?" But his whole thing is, because that's what the bad guy's going to do.
Yeah. I plan to be honest with you. This summer, I plan on practicing doing that kind of stuff. When it's drier out there and stuff, down at the club I belong to. Hopefully have a friend with me or something to help me get up, but See, as I said, I'm lucky. I can stew. I can stew. I can get on the ground. Getting up's the hard part, but I can do it. Just takes me a while.
I flipped my manual wheelchair over numerous times, and I've practiced, drawing from the ground as I'm flipping over and as I'm on the ground. And at one point, I tried carrying my gun under the cushion of the manual wheelchair, and after flipping it that time, I realized that was a bad spot, because when you flip, that gun is out of control. And so that's why I went to the inside the waistband, and then I decided to try the lap bag.
Yeah.
That way it stays with me whether I'm flipped over or not in the manual chair. In the electric chair, my chair weighs over 400 pounds. So they'd have to be a football player to knock that one over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and also, like, my scooter has 4 wheels on it. So, I mean, it weighs what? I think the thing weighs almost 200 pounds. And, with me sitting on it and it weighing that much, it takes something to knock it over too. I think I would knock it over trying to go up a hill or a corner too fast than somebody actually knocking it over with me on it. But but I agree. I agree. Another thing I thought of doing too was, especially here in the wintertime, is maybe get one of them shoulder rigs, where it sits right here on your chest since you're wearing a jacket or whatever.
Kind of like a hunting rig.
Yeah,
like a hunting chest rig.
Yeah, like you see, like up in Alaska or whatever, So,
which would work for somebody in cold environments, like where you're at, Rick. If you're,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Out and about, wearing a parka or something.
Yeah, in the up here in the colder months, I could something like that. These kind of things I'm thinking of. So what I was saying is,
Rick, if you've had any kind of shoulder or upper back issues, any shoulder rig is going to be a problem, because that added weight doesn't seem like it would be much, but I carried a shoulder rig for a couple years, and it can wear on you after a while.
Or yeah. I would also say even neck issues, because a lot of neck issues run down into the shoulders, into the arms, and that sort of stuff. I say that from experience.
Yeah. So it got a point. I got a bad back, so I might have to think twice about that option.
But it's definitely something. It's not a deal breaker. I mean, try everything out there.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna, So
I'm also stretching out into some of the non-lethal stuff. I'm recently started selling stuff that's what's the name of that company? Security Guard or something like that. Pepper sprays, stun guns, even bulletproof backpacks. You name it, they've got it. That's on the non-lethal side. And even in a confrontation where things could turn lethal and you might need your weapon, you can at least buy time with a pepper spray or a stun gun or something.
Yeah.
The problem I see with pepper spray for people who are in wheelchairs or whatnot is, to me, pepper spray is kind of it's a spray the guy and get the hell out of there kind of thing.
Yep.
My only thought on that is, I mean, how quick are you going to be able to get out of there? And are you going to be able to handle the spray that you're going to end up being covered in?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And in my case, I've been through the gas chamber numerous times while I was in the military, and I actually used to volunteer every time I had a head cold just to clear out my head. But for most people, you know, if they're in an electric chair, it's a little bit easier to do the getaway thing. In a manual chair, you can still, you know, if you've got good use of your arms, you can probably outrun the person long enough to get where there's more people.
Let's see, was Patriot saying there's a lot of things to think about with a less than lethal method. If you have a situation, they could wonder why he didn't use the less lethal before shooting. You know, that's what worries me. You know, if you end up shooting somebody and they say, well, you're carrying this pepper spray or you're carrying, what you call it, one of them batons or whatever you call them, they're going to say, well, why didn't you use that first? Because he wasn't armed, say, for argument's sake.
Well, if you're in a wheelchair or you're in pretty much any way physically disabled and it comes to a physical confrontation, you're going to, in 99% of the situations, you're going to be justified to do whatever's necessary because you would be in fear for your life because you're not physically capable of taking them on, you know, just with your body.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean what's it referred to as continuum of force or however that plays out, where you know you can only match the force that's brought on you. You can't go, you know, above and beyond and create a lethal situation if it's not needed. But I mean, you're right. Someone who is physically disabled, they're not going to be able to go knuckle to knuckle with the guy if that's even if that's all that situation would have called for, or even if that's all that would have handled that situation. It's that's a tough one when it comes to the non-lethal.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things with the stun guns, you know, I tell people don't wait until the person's close enough for you to actually use the stun gun. Let it pop a couple times where they can see it, and most people with any brains at all is going to be like, oh, okay, I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, they'll go on and they'll pick the next how do I say it, the next person that they perceive to be a weaker victim, easier victim.
I've given stun guns to all the ladies in my family, including my mom, who's 70, 72 actually, and she's got rheumatoid arthritis. And I told her, I said, you know, if you perceive somebody to be a threat, don't wait until they do something. Pull that stun gun out and pop it a few times, and you'll avoid any kind of conflict just by doing that in most cases.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. I was trying to find a picture. Somebody asked for a picture of my scooter. I was trying to find one. I thought I had one on the computer. I don't. I'll take a couple of pictures of it and I'll have it for next week. You know. So there we go. So I'm sorry about that. That's what I was doing. Anyway, let's see. That's yeah. I haven't thought about that. You know, I don't do anything for non-lethal. I just got, you know, I just carry my 45, and that's it. You know, I do have a knife and a flashlight. That's about my everyday carry. You know, so
I just got started in the non-lethal thing recently because I was looking for a way to subsidize my income because just VA disability doesn't pay real well, and I'm still fighting to get 100%.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, actually, talking about that, I mean, I might need to. I don't want to steal your business. I got to come up with something myself too. Be honest with you, because this, even though I get Social Security disability, people say they say I get a good amount, more than the average. I don't know how. I mean, I barely survive on it. So anyway, that's getting off topic. But I said, well, mind you, not necessarily so. I mean, because a lot of people who have disabilities, if they, didn't, unless they got a real big payout because of an accident or something, that limits to what you could do too on what you get. I mean, like that scooter, or not that scooter, that wheelchair that's in your avatar. I mean, actually no way on this earth I could ever afford one. But say I was in an accident and I got, paid $250,000 or something compensation, it'd be a different story. But I mean, to me, I live on Social Security disability. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, Rick, I will say this. Yeah, there is no way you would have been able to afford one out of pocket. But I mean, for people out there listening, don't give up on something like that. Look for organizations out there.
Oh,
Look for all the help you can get
absolutely. I mean, there is.
to.
I mean, you can maybe get a grant, or somebody could help you out. Hey, maybe you can even do a GoFundMe on it. People.
I tried a GoFundMe for raising money to pay for my truck. And you wouldn't believe the number of people that emailed me and commented on the GoFundMe page and so on. Just total negativity. How dare you use the fact that you're a veteran to take advantage of people and steal their money? And I mean, it was crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah,
ended up
that's
raising about $2,000 out of all of it.
Yeah. All right, Patriot. I just answering Patriot here. Okay. So yeah, yeah. But what I was looking at is like something like that is, as you said, you mentioned it at the beginning when you said you went to that hunt and some church organized these things. I mean, there's maybe a church will fund it for you or something. You know what I'm saying? Even another thing I was thinking about was like the gun club I belong to or the shooting range I belong to. I mean, it's an enormous place. It sits on 50 acres. It's got six pistol ranges, 4 or 5 shotgun, trap things. It's got a 300-yard rifle range. It's got an archery area. You know what I'm saying? It's got all this stuff. 2 clubhouses, and sitting in the bank, because I go to the monthly meetings, sitting in the bank in the slush fund, they got over $300,000. You know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe I put up to them, hey, can you guys sponsor one of these for me or whatever, or buy one for the club and I'll use it when I come, or any handicapped person can use it when they come. That's another thing to look at.
that would be a way of going at it.
Yeah.
Going about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a part of a group called Honor the Warriors. We do hand cycling, and right now we're basically leasing hand cycles to disabled people for $1 a year until they can get their own hand cycle through like the VA or something of that nature. If they're not a veteran, then we try to work something out to where they can just use the bike permanently.
Yeah.
But there's a group, Camp for Heroes. I can't remember. It's down on the eastern part of North Carolina. And the guy that runs that place, he does really major fundraisers and things of that nature. And he had mentioned to me getting me one of those 6-wheel chairs that can pretty much go over anything and through anything.
Yeah. Oh, talking about that, I saw a wheelchair when I was watching C-SPAN a couple of weeks ago on the they were voting on something, and I know the guy. Well, I don't know the guy. He's actually Rhode Island's. He's actually the senator that represents my district. He got shot, and that's why he's anti-gun. But when he was a kid, but he has a wheelchair that, sort of like when he's got to go to the podium, it sort of like goes up, sort of like the wheels go on top of each other or something. Where he's almost like he's standing up, and it stays balanced somehow. I don't know how, but I thought that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a high-dollar chair there. It's
but you know what I'm on about. So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those. They'll climb stairs. You can.
Yeah.
I mean, they're amazing what they can do, but you know, if you don't have like the VA or some way to get you equipment, then it's whatever you can pay for or whatever money you can raise or get somebody else to raise for you to get stuff like that.
You just brought up something there a minute ago, Rick, that I want to touch on. It's funny is the wrong word. Maybe ironic is a little more appropriate, but it's ironic how, people who have been shot in the past and survived it and, go on with their life they fall into one of two camps, it seems. They either go staunchly pro-gun or staunchly anti-gun.
Yeah.
Me, I was shot at the age of 19, and I didn't want to see a gun. I didn't want a gun near me for quite a few years afterwards, but came to the realization one day that, when that time comes, ain't nobody going to be around to protect me but me, and it's nobody else's responsibility but me. So that's the best tool for the job.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with you. I mean, like this senator of ours, I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny, but it is in a way. He was actually with a bunch of other guys. I think it was in the Boy Scouts or something. And he was at the police shooting range, and they were teaching them to shoot. And somehow, I don't know if it was a negligent discharge, because, I mean, the guy's in his 50s now, but he's 15 years old at the time, and he got shot and he got paralyzed. He's been anti-gun ever since. So, I know, because I write him every now and then, tell him to vote for the Second Amendment stuff. He always sends me a letter back saying, "Oh, I believe in the Second Amendment, but," anyway, that's how these things go.
Yeah,
anyway,
follow it up with "but."
Yeah, once they go "but," I give up. I sort of turn off. Because anything after "but" is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we're almost out of time. I don't want to run into Clover overrun. So I appreciate everybody being here, and I appreciate you joining me too, Hottie and Wheelchair. I really do. It makes it easier for me to get through the hour. You know what I'm saying? When other suggestions coming in.
No problem at all, Rick. I like what you're doing here, man. I really do.
Yeah. And I said you can join me anytime. And I mentioned this last week. You don't have to be disabled to join in this chat. An outsider might have some ideas too that we don't even think about. So,
absolutely. I mean, someone like Clover who teaches even kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
He knows. I'm sure he knows techniques that make it easier for the kids that could translate over to people who are facing different sort of.
I did send him a link, but he was more like busy getting his chat ready. I have to give him more notice than that. I gave him about 5 minutes before we started.
Yeah, Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was just using him as an example, but I mean, what you said is right. I mean, this you can't. I would hope that you don't, section this thing off to only people who are disabled, because people who aren't can bring a lot to this conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that comment. Great show, Rick. This is a show that needs to be done. So thank you for doing this. Well, I'm trying. I'm hoping it doesn't die on me because that's why I need input from people helping me. With ideas and send me web pages or people they know or anything. It would help.
Well, Rick, why I'm here is like I just told you, because I think it's a very important subject, and I appreciate that you're doing it, man.
Well, I appreciate you joining in. I really do. So I
And
know
I'm be happy to join you every week if you'd like.
I would like you to be on the panel every week if you can. If you're there, if you're able to. So, what you gonna just? I don't know. I could have sworn you sent me an email once, but I can't find your email address. You want to send me an email? Then that way, if I don't see you in the chat, I can always send you the link through email. If you're all just on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, so do that for me now, and I'll put you in my contact list. So we have you there. All right. I know it's still got a couple of minutes to go, but I said I don't want to overrun into Clovers. Personally, because I like going to that one myself. Anyway, so I am going to call it quits, and I thank everybody for showing up. You really made me feel that this is worthwhile doing. So thank you all for coming, and hopefully we will see you next Wednesday. And don't forget, I have my normal chat on Saturdays at 3 p.m. So see you all then. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for